Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now the prayer is given in the booklet. Om Bhadram Karne Vishrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashye Makshabhiryajatraha Sthirairangai Stushtuva Gumsastanubihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vruddhashravaha Swasti na Pusha Vishvavedaha Swasti nastarkshu Arishtanemihi Swasti no Bruhaspatir Dadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Karthik ji, can we just raise the volume little? Thank you. So, namaskar to everyone. At the outset of my first class with you, I would like to say that you have made a correct use of your faculty of choice by opting to come here for the Vedanta course that this place is offering. Because, let me tell you, that there is no option in life if we want to make our life successful in the real sense of the term. If we want to make it completely successful, then there is no option but to know the knowledge which Vedanta confers upon us. Am I audible everywhere? Here, the side too? Okay. The knowledge which Vedanta means, Upanishads means Vedanta. The knowledge which it gives is so significant, so important in our life that unless we gain it, there is no fulfillment in our life. No matter what we achieve, no matter the amount of wealth we have, no matter the power that we possess, no matter what higher and upper echelons in life we may have achieved, but there will always remain a lingering sense of want, a lingering sense of discontentment if you have not been exposed, if you do not have the knowledge that the Vedanta, that the Upanishads give you. We will be looking into this. So, to make our life, this knowledge is absolutely necessary. And that is why I said that you have made a correct choice. And as we all know, that life is nothing but making. The success of life depends on making correct choices. correct choices at the right time. Every time in life, every moment, in fact, we have choices before us to take up this path or that path. But if we use our intellect, if we use the faculty that is given to us in a right way, discerning what is correct, what is beneficial, if we use it that way, then we make the correct choice, which you all have made it. And so, I wanted to underline this. And that is why, since Upanishads are very important, the knowledge which it gives us is that you all know this, but I just want to underline and repeat. The knowledge which Upanishads and the Vedanta gives is this, that you are already complete. You are already here and now. Underline the words, here and now. You are complete. You are fine. You don't have to gain anything. You don't have to change anything. You don't have to become anything. You may do it, all right. Nothing wrong with that. But if you understand your reality, if you understand your core, if you understand yourself, which we talked about this morning in the meditation, if you know it, then nothing remains to be done. Nothing remains to be done. You are fine, beautiful, complete, adequate in reality. Because the Atma is that. In fact, the self is the most significant being in the world. There is none end. There is none other than you. You are the only one. And it is the most significant and complete. You are already Purnaha. And this is the knowledge which Vedanta, which Upanishads confer. This is what they reveal, which we do not know. If we know it, well and good. But even if we know, this knowledge is to sink in. This knowledge has to sink in, and we have to abide in this knowledge. Only then and then we'll be reaping the benefits of this. But we have to make a beginning. We have to make a beginning in life. And that can happen only and only when we expose ourselves. When we expose ourselves to this knowledge. That is why it is for this precise reason that sage Yajnavalkya in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad made a very, very important statement, which I am sure all of you know. He said, Atma va are drashtavyaha, shrotavyaha, mantavyaha, nididhyasitavyaha, which means Atma should be known. Atma means the self, my reality, my core should be known. Drashtavyaha means it should be known, which means we do not know it correctly now. That is why the need to say that it should be known. But how will I know? How will I know it? By listening to it. By listening about it from the mouth of the teacher. The words of the teacher which comes from Upanishads, from the Pramana. So listen to that, Shravanam. That is why the Tavya Prati, it should be heard. Then, having heard also, there may be doubts. So Mantavyaha, you think about it. Then Nididhyasitavyaha. Nididhyasitavyaha means you meditate upon it. Meditate in the sense that, is my understanding of myself in line with what the Shastra says or not? If it is not in line with it, then I change it. And habit dies hard. For past many lives, I have taken myself to be a small individual, a small being, helpless creature. And now Upanishad comes along and says, you are the most beautiful, you are complete and fine. So I have to bridge the gap. Bridge the gap between my understanding and what the Shruti, what the Pramana says. And this may not happen all that soon. And that is why I take time out and sit with myself, give quality time to myself, and go back. Go back to what I have heard. I am fine. I am Brahman. Tattvamasi. Aham Brahmasmi. And wherever the change is to be made, I give up. I give up my understanding about myself, which I have been entertaining for so many years, and replace it with the knowledge which I am gaining from the Upanishads, from the teacher. So, this statement, Atma Vare Drashtavya, that is why it is needed. And that is why we have chosen a part of Muṇḍaka Upanishad. The statement, the verse, the mantra which we have taken from Upanishads, from Muṇḍaka Upanishads, we are going to talk about that, discuss about that for coming 3 days. This talk plus another 2 talks. It is a part of Muṇḍaka Upanishad. And Muṇḍaka Upanishad is, as you all know, Upanishads are part of the Vedas. They are part of the Vedas. Just I'm giving you just an information, general information. Vedas have 2 main sections, that is Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. Karma Kanda deals with the actions, upasanas, everything, and Jnana Kanda deals with this knowledge of the self. So Upanishads are found in the Jnana Kanda. In the later part of the, generally speaking, Upanishads are found in the later portion of the Vedas. And all the 4 Vedas, Rug, Yajuhu, Sama, and Atharva, all of them contain Upanishads. Just to give you just to summarize that, Rigveda contains which? Aitareya Upanishad. The principal Upanishad found in Rigveda is Aitareya Upanishad. In Samaveda, the Upanishad, you find 2 major Upanishads. And which are they? Samaveda. Which are they? Chandogya Upanishad. The famous Chandogya Upanishad. Chandogya Upanishad is famous for 6th chapter. And that too, for the statement, the Mahavakya, the big statement which it contains. What is that? Tattvamasi, that thou art. This statement, this Mahavakya, that thou art, appears in Chandogya Upanishad in the 6th chapter. So, Samaveda has 2 important Upanishads. That one is Chandogya and other one is Kenopanishad. These are the 2 major Upanishads found in Samaveda. Rigveda, as I said, contains Aitareya Upanishad. And which Mahavakya does it contain? All the 4 Vedas have Mahavakyas. The statement showing the identity between the individual and the Ishvara, showing the identity. These are called Mahavakyas. So which is the Mahavakya? Coming in the Aitareya Upanishad, it is Prajnanam Brahma. Just for your information, I am telling. Then comes Yajurveda. Now again, Yajurveda has 2 shakhas, 2 branches, 2 recensions. And that is Krishna Yajurveda and Shukla Yajurveda, the black Yajurveda and the white one. The black one has 2 Upanishads, 2 major Upanishads in it. Which are they? Kathopanishad, and the other one is Taittiriya Upanishad. Kathopanishad, as Pujya Swamiji is taking, and one of the famous statement, Uttishtata Jagrata, is being taken. So that is Kathopanishad. And the other one is Taittiriya Upanishad. Just I am giving you information. Taittiriya Upanishad has the famous statement, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Brahman is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. This Vakya comes in Taittiriya Upanishad. Okay, this is Krishna Yajurveda. Now we come to Shukla Yajurveda, white Yajurveda. And it has 2 major Upanishads. Which are they? Brihadaranyaka and Ishavasya. Ishavasya Upanishad, very famous. And Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, again very famous, voluminous, not only in size but in substance too. Brihadaranyaka is voluminous, Brihad, wide, not only in substance but in size too. So that appears in Shukla Yajurveda. Then comes Atharva Veda. Atharva Veda has maximum major Upanishads in it. And that is first one, Muṇḍaka. Muṇḍaka, which we are part of it, which we are going to see, appears in Atharva Veda. Muṇḍaka, then Prajnopanishad. Third one, very, very famous Upanishad, which is that Mandukya. Then fourth one, Kaivalya Upanishad. These four Upanishads, major Upanishads, are found in Atharva Veda. Muṇḍaka Upanishad is also part of it. Yes, I forgot to tell you. In Brihadaranyaka, that is in Shukla Yajurveda, comes the Mahavakya in Brihadaranyaka, which is that Aham Brahmasmi. Which is that Aham Brahmasmi, appears in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And this Mandukya Upanishad, I am Atma Brahma, which comes in Atharva Veda. Understood? So all the four Vedas, Ruk, Yajus, Sama, and Atharva. In Atharva Veda, this Mahavakya appears in Mandukya Upanishad. I am Atma Brahma. Sarvam etad Brahma. All this is Brahman. And this my Atma, this myself is also Brahman. This is just giving you an idea. So, Muṇḍaka Upanishad appears in Atharva Veda. One more thing which we should know is this, that these Upanishads again are divided in two ways. Some of them are Mantropanishad and some are Brahmanopanishad. Upanishads again have these two categories. Some are Mantropanishad. Mantra means a hymn. Mantra means a hymn. It is in the form of poetry. So some are Mantropanishad in the form of hymn, and they are more important. They carry a lot of significance. Then others are Brahmanopanishad. Brahmanopanishad, which means that they expand. They are an exposition upon Mantropanishad. They explain Mantropanishad. They are called Brahmanopanishad. And they are in prose. They are written in prose. So now, Muṇḍaka Upanishad, which we are part of it, which we are going to study, is Mantropanishad. It is Mantropanishad. And the Brahmanopanishad, which explains, which expands, which is an exposition upon this Mantropanishad, which is Muṇḍaka Upanishad, is which Upanishad? Prajnopanishad. It is Prajnopanishad. Just to tell you that in Shukla Yajurveda also, Ishavasya Upanishad is what? Mantropanishad. It contains just 18 mantras. And the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is Brahmanopanishad. It expands. It is an exposition upon this Ishavasya. Similarly, Prajna is exposition upon this Muṇḍaka Upanishad. So Muṇḍaka Upanishad occupies a very, very important place in the Veda. All the Upanishads are important, but each and every Upanishad has its own beauty and something unique to confer. So this Muṇḍaka Upanishad has its own beauty. And let me tell you, it has the mantras which establishes the principles of Vedanta in a very, very beautiful manner. And that is why you must have heard about Brahma Sutras. Have you heard what Brahma Sutra is? Brahma Sutras are aphorisms upon Brahman. And who has composed them? Vedavyasji. Vedavyasji has written them, and which analyzes, Brahma Sutra primarily analyzes the Upanishads, because there are many Upanishads. And some Upanishad will present the theme in this way, another one in this way. So there is a doubt whether there are all these Upanishads have different theme or what. No. So Vedavyasji came along. Badarayana, Vedavyasji means Krishna Dvaipayana, Vedavyasji, who is supposed to be the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Just as Shankaracharyaji is incarnation of Lord Shiva. Similarly, Vedavyasji, who came before Shankaracharyaji, is supposed to be incarnation, Amshavatara of Lord Vishnu. He composed to show that even though Upanishads are many, even though they are many, the theme is one. There is same line of the theme, ek vakyata. There is one theme in all the Upanishads, and he has analyzed them in a masterly manner. All the Upanishads are analyzed in Brahma Sutra in a masterly manner. Why I am saying this is, Mundaka Upanishads, the mantras of Mundaka Upanishad, there are many references of this Mundaka Upanishad in Brahma Sutra, which shows the importance that this Upanishad enjoys, that it has to be discussed to establish the Siddhanta, to establish the principle of Vedanta. This is just to show you the importance of this Upanishad. Okay. And Mundaka Upanishad, the verse which we have taken here, it is also important. Why? Because it forms the basis. It forms the very basis of the entire Upanishad. Now we come to the name. Before we get into the verse, we get into the mantra, we should have some idea of what this Upanishad, from which the mantra is taken, what the Upanishad itself is. That is why I am telling you. The name that is given, Mundaka, is also, it indicates something. There are many Vidwans, many scholars, they have come up with different meanings. But the name is Munda. Munda means head. Munda means head. And Mundaka means Mundanam karoti iti Mundakaha. One who shaves off the hair on the head is called Mundaka. One who gets it done plus one who does it is called Mundaka. So generally a barber shaves off the hair of the head. It stands for all the attachment that we have in life. It's shown by showing that the hair is taken away, and the barber does that. Generally, sannyasis, when they take sannyas, they remove all the hair. So here it is indicative that Upanishad itself is removing the ignorance which is covering the nature of the self. So Upanishad itself is going to remove something. What is it going to remove? It will remove the ignorance and the notions which are today covering the obtaining Atma, obtaining truth right within us. Upanishad is going to do that. It is going to play the role of a barber. That is why it is called Mundaka Upanishad. Plus, as I said, it is symbolic. It is symbolic of Vairagya. It is symbolic of the spirit of renunciation. That you are ready to give up. In fact, it gets given up. You don't give it up, but when you want to achieve something higher, when you see that what the reality is, the real nitya, the lasting thing is something else, and I have been spending my time in that which is anitya, and then when the vairagya, when dispassion arises, then you pursue this subject, this vidya, And that is also one of the reasons why it is called Upanishad. Another reason, another meaning that Panditas give is that Upanishad has a Shirovratam. There is a ritual. It is said, there is a story that that sage Atharva brought fire from the heavens, carrying a fire pot on his head. So the ritual is that when you approach the teacher for Brahma Vidya, in Atharva Veda, this ritual, this ceremony was there, that you carry the fire pot on your head and you proceed towards the teacher, approach the teacher for knowledge, which again is symbolic, that there is a burning desire in me. There is a burning desire in me to gain this knowledge, which doesn't admit of any other distractions. Because if your hair has got fire, then what is the first thing that you look for? You look for water. You look for something where you can extinguish this fire. At that time, if somebody offers you ice cream or good meal or wealth or power, you have none of it. You have no time and inclination for any of that. Why? Because the priority is to first quench this, first remove this. Again, as I said, all this symbolizes that there is the burning, intense desire, intense commitment, desire is there for this knowledge. This knowledge definitely calls for becoming the priority. Because it calls for that kind of focus. And that is why it is shown in this way. That is why also the Shirovratam is indicative of the kind of the subject matter plus the qualities required in the student. And that is why also it is called Upanishad. In the early days, only sannyasins were getting this knowledge. Why? Because they had given up everything else. All other priorities, distractions were given up to pursue this. And that is why, and they also had the shaven head, they would remove everything and go. That is why also it is called Upanishad. In short, we may not, don't get scared that we will have to take sannyasa for this. No. What is important is the spirit, the disposition. What is the disposition that is required is total focus, and readiness to spend time and understand, because this definitely calls for attention. You have to spend time with this, and for that some priority is needed. With our life and our engagements also, we can definitely find time for this. So, because it facilitates understanding of the subject matter. So, these are the various reasons. Why this name that is given, Upanishad. So, this is about the Upanishad, the name. Now, I'll tell you about the format. This Upanishad has 3 chapters. It is called 3 Mundakas, 3 chapters. And each chapter has 2 sections each. All the 3 chapters have 2 sections. So in total, there are 6 sections in the Upanishad. And all of them have beautiful, very, very beautiful mantras. So this in short is, and it is a dialogue. It is a dialogue between sage Angira and Shaunaka. Most of the Upanishads are in the form of the dialogue of the teacher and the student. So here this is a dialogue between sage Angira and Shaunaka. So this in short is what the Upanishad is. Now, before we proceed with the topic or the mantra which we have taken up for discussion, we'll quickly look into the prayer of this Upanishad. Again, before proceeding with this study, it is customary to chant the Shanti mantra. And the Shanti mantra means the prayer. And the Shanti mantra also of the Veda where this to which this Upanishad belongs. So each and every Vedas have their particular Shanti mantras. And when you are studying the Upanishads of a particular Veda, then the Shanti mantra of that Veda is to be chanted. So the Shanti mantra of the Atharva Veda is Bhadrang Karnebihi Shrunuya, that which we have already chanted. And this prayer is to be done, this Shanti mantra is to be chanted not only by the student, but both by the teacher as well as the student. Why? Because we are on the verge of doing something very auspicious, of beginning something very auspicious. And that is what? Study of the Upanishads, which is very, very auspicious, and which is going to, if I pay attention, if I use my brains, if I understand very well, then it is going to change my entire life. It is going to change my perception. It is going to bring about a change in my life in a right way, in the right direction. And whenever you are undertaking something important, then our culture, Indian culture is that, I think everywhere, in all other cultures too, but each and every undertaking, whether you're buying a new house, beginning a new business, buying a car, anything, when some new undertaking is begun, then before that you pray. And we have special prayers for that. Why? Because, as they say, Shreyamsi Bahu Vignani. When you are out to do something beautiful, something auspicious, it is quite likely that there are many, many obstacles waiting to come on your path. They are lurking everywhere, in front, behind, everywhere. Anything can happen any moment, which can quite disturb your pursuit, which may not allow you to do what you want. And we all know that we don't call all the shots. Everything is not in our control. We want to begin something, some enterprise, something, but whether it will be successful or not, I do not know. Any undertaking, calls for 3 factors. Which are those 3 factors? One is effort on my part. Second is the time that is needed has to be given. So prayatna, I should work for it. One factor. Another factor is the time that is needed for that enterprise. That also has to be given. But we all know this. In spite of making efforts, in spite of giving the necessity and the time that is necessary, putting my time into it, even then, I cannot be sure. There is no guarantee that the result, the consequence is going to be what I want. The consequence I do not control. Because, as they say, there is an old proverb that there are many slips betwixt the cup and the lip. There is a distance between, I may be I may be ready to drink something. I bring it right here, but a fly may enter, a bug may come, or I may get a stroke. Anything can happen. So there is this proverb that there are many slips between the cup and the lip. Similarly, I am out to do something, and I am all for it, and yet I do not control the result. Maybe I may not be able to complete it also. I may not be able to forge ahead. Obstacles are there, and I cannot control because I am limited. My powers, my knowledge is limited. And that is why the third factor comes in. The third factor, we have already mentioned two factors. Which are they? Prayatna and Kala. The third factor is Daivam. The third factor is grace of Ishvara. If at all, yes, if somebody can control the result, if somebody can make the difference in the result, then that is nothing but Ishvara. Because precisely we have to be pragmatic in life. Be pragmatic that I don't control. Even if I am powerful, even if I have some knowledge, but still things can go haywire. Things can go just out of my imagination. There are many such variables, many variables which can come between me and the result that I want. So to pray is being pragmatic. Even sages, rishis, they were powerful, but still they have recognized this. They acknowledge the need for prayer, acknowledge the need for Shanti mantra, because again, Ishvara is all powerful. He is omniscient as well as omnipotent. Omniscient as well as omnipotent. What is this omniscient? Omniscient means he knows everything. He knows my present, past, future, everything. So he is omniscient about not only me, about the entire creation. He knows everything. Plus, I may know, but I may not be powerful enough to control. Whereas he is all powerful. He is omniscient as well as omnipotent. When I understand this, when I also understand that I am limited, I cannot even, as Swamiji says, I cannot even pronounce and spell out what omniscient. For me, it is difficult to even pronounce and spell out what omniscient word is or omnipotent. But he is really that in the literal sense of the word. And that is why we pray. We pray to him to invoke his grace so that he can, if he is pleased by me, if he is pleased by my prayers, then it is only he who can ward off the obstacles coming on my path. Understand? Only he, it is that power, only he can ward off. He can ward off and neutralize. He can ward off or neutralize this negativity or unbecoming things or obstacles which are likely to come. And that is why we pray. We humbly pray, because I am not in that position. See, we can pray when a real prayer can come out from me when I have understanding of these two things. Which two things? Otherwise prayer doesn't come out. And even if it comes out, my heart is not there in it. It will come out provided I understand my limitations, plus I know that he is limitless. There is no limit to his strength or knowledge. And let me tap on that. Let me Tap on what? On what? Tell me. Tell me. Tap on the limitless power and knowledge of Ishvara. To have some of it for me. To be my support. To be with me. And for that, I pray. Even rishis, sages, understood this. They knew this. And that is why in other things, plus, when we are out to study, and as I said, this is the most auspicious thing in life, that I'm open. I'm open to know the truth of life. I'm open to know the fundamental reality about myself, about creation, about Ishvara, not an ordinary thing. Brahma Vidya, this knowledge is not an ordinary thing. And I'm out for that. I have the desire for that. But for that to be successful, for that to make sense, for me as well as the teacher, understand, not only for the student, not only for the listener, but also for the speaker, these prayers are there. And that is called Shanti mantras. Mantras which will bring Shanti. Mantras which will bring peace inside out. Mantras which will remove the negativity. How many are they? In what measure are they? In what proportion are they? I am not aware of. And so I am underlining the need for prayer in life. If it is required here, even before the study of the Shastra, then what to talk of prayers required in life? Prayers required in life. So, I wanted to mention this by the way. And so there is the Shanti mantra, which we'll quickly look into. The Shanti mantra we have already chanted, but now we'll see the meaning quickly, because we have the verse to do. But so we will quickly look into this. Here, it is given in your booklet on page number 9, to be precise. It is given on page number 9. The meaning is not given, so I will explain to you. Bhadrang karnebihi shrunuyama devaha. Devatas, the deities are addressed. That Bhadrang karnebihi shrunuyama. O Devatas, please bless me so that I listen to the auspicious things. Bhadram, I hear only that which is beautiful and Bhadram. Because what we hear, what we see, what we smell, what all goes on, the stimuli which goes on is going to impact me. It is going to impact. And that is why I expose what comes before me through the ears. What enters through the ears should be Bhadram, should be auspicious. And what is Bhadram here? The Shastra. The Shastra is Bhadram. The words of the teacher are auspicious, and so please let me hear that. Let me listen to the scriptures day and night. Let me imbibe that very well, and may there be no obstacle when the teacher is unfolding the Shastra and I'm sitting before the teacher, then I should have all the focus, and may all the auspicious words come through that. So that is a prayer. Then again, Bhadram Pashyema Akshabihi Yajatraha. Then there are these devatas called Yajatraha. Yajatraha are the kind of the deities. We have so many different deities, different functionaries. Ishvara is one. But just as the Prime Minister, the President is one. But different functions are done by different ministers. Somebody looks out of the home ministry, somebody finance, somebody something else like that. So there are these Yajatras. Yajatras are the devatas who protect us. When we invoke their grace, when we praise them, then they are there to protect us. So the Yajatras are being addressed that may I see Bhadram, may I see pleasant, may I see that which is auspicious. And what through my eyes, and what is the most auspicious thing? Nothing but Ishvara. And it is a fact that there is nothing but Ishvara. The question is not that where Ishvara is. But what is the question? Tell me what is not Ishvara. What is not Ishvara? But I do not have that perception today. Ishvara is everywhere before me, but I do not have that insight, that perception. So let me see that. Let me see the beauty everywhere, the compassion everywhere, the purity everywhere. So that is the prayer done to the devatas called Yajatras. Then Sthiraihi Angaihi Stushtuvam Tanubihi Vyashema Devahitan Yadayuhu. Then further prayer is made that, O devatas, may you empower me, may you give me a healthy body, a healthy, fit body. My limbs are also healthy and fit, everything, the whole physic is fit, so that we spend our life in serving the devatas, in serving the society, so that the rest of my lifespan, which I have, I spend in serving. Because as Bhagavad Gita also says, Lord Krishna points our attention in Bhagavad Gita to the wheel of give and take that is going on in this cosmos, where everything is constantly except human being. All other elements of nature are constantly giving themselves, are constantly giving. Only human being has a faculty of choice, because of which he may choose to give, he may not choose to give. He may contribute, he may not contribute. His selfishness will come between his desire to give. So, the devatas are being addressed that give us a healthy body so that we can serve the society, we can give back to the cosmos, because cosmos has given us. Now it is my turn to reach out. So far I was not fit enough. But now when I am fit, let me also contribute. Let me also transform, as Swamiji says, transform myself from being a consumer to being a contributor. Life is not only consuming. In fact, the more we understand the meaning of life, the more we will come to the understanding and the conclusion that life is meant for giving. Life is meant, it is an opportunity to give precisely because, as Upanishads reveal, that you are already full. You are already complete. You are full. You are not a beggar, which you have taken yourself to be. You are in the position of giving. Why are you begging? We have our small needs. Yes, for that we may take from the society. But there are so many other powers that we possess. We have strength, mental strength, physical strength, strength of love, strength of caring. Give that. Give that back to the society. Give that back to the devatas. Give it back to the cosmos, because now you are in that position. So give it back. So there's a prayer is made. So please give us the fitness of the body, fitness of the mind, so that, not that for them, then again I will fill up my pockets. I will enlarge my begging wall. No, not for that, but for giving back. Giving back. So this prayer is made. Then, this is first part of the prayer. Then the second part is Swastina Indraha Vruddhashravaha. Then again the prayer to Indra, the king of the devatas. And the Vruddhashravaha is the adjective of Indra. Who is this Indra? Indra of very famous Indra, who is very famous in the olden days. Nowadays, we are not so much bothered about the devatas and all that. But in those days, Indra was supposed to be very famous. So this Indra who is famous, may he also bless me. So that Indra is supposed to be the deity of the arm, deity of strength, so that he showers me with all that strength. Then, further prayer to Swasti Naha, Pusha Vishwavedaha, prayer to Pushan. Pushan means sun, S-U-N, sun. Who is he? Vishwavedaha. He knows everything because of his splendor and brightness. Nothing is hidden from him. So sun god is supposed to be all-knowing. So we make a prayer to him that may you bless me with the same knowledge, with the same kind of brightness. So prayer to him. Then further prayer is to Swasti Naha Tarkshyah Arishtanemihi. This Arishtanemihi is Visheshanam. It is the adjective to Tarkshyah. Tarkshyah means Garuda, the eagle. Garuda, who is supposed to be the vehicle of Lord Krishna, Vishnu. So this Tarkshyah, the kind of speed that he has, the kind of speed is too swift. That is why he is called Arishtanemihi. His speed, the swiftness which he possesses, is such that there is absolutely no obstacle to him. So it is called Arishtanemi, whose flight is without any obstacle. O Garuda, O God Eagle, may you give me the same kind of speed, which means may my path be totally without any obstacles, so that I reach my goal, I reach my destination. May there be no obstacle. Destination also I reach swiftly before the time is out. Before the time is out. So I don't postpone. Otherwise we'll do it tomorrow. The whole life is there. After retirement, what does it matter? No. Because we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. Time is ticking. Time is ticking every moment. Lub and dub. Lub and dub. Who knows? After love. After love, what may not come? Dub may not happen. Gone. The words which we are trying to utter, who knows? We do not know. May not come out. Things have happened, you know. So, time is very important. Time is very precious. Nalini dalagata jalamati taralam tattva jivitam atishaya chapalam. Bhashyakara says, Sri Shankaracharya says, life is fickle. Life is very fickle. We may not know this, you know, when we are we have some attitude. When we are in a different world, we do not pay attention to this. That I don't know how much time I have. We are not worried about that. But pragmatism is this, that I do not waste time and complete the things that are to be done within the lifespan. That is why Upaniṣad says, Iha ched avedit ata satyam asti. If you know it now, if you know it in this life, know what? What is happening in the moon and sun? Know what? That you may know. General knowledge you may have. But what is to be known? Tell me. The truth. The fundamental reality. Not only to know the reality, to abide in it. To reach the goal. I want happiness. I want fulfillment in this life itself. And Shastra says, you are that. So why not I know it now? Who knows about tomorrow? Why no procrastination, no postponement? And so, we pray to Ishvara that may it happen with me in this life itself, Then, lastly, Swastinaha Bruhaspatihi Dadatu. May Bruhaspati, who is the teacher of the Devatas, teacher of Indra, Bruhaspati, may he also, so our teacher also, may he also be favorable to us. May he also shower blessings upon us, so that all the obstacles which are likely to come, which may come, are warded off. Now you here may ask me a question, that Swamini, how do we know that obstacles are? They may not be there, then fine. If they are not there in your prarabdha, very good. We don't want them to come. But how do you know that they are not there? They may be there. And we cannot afford to let them take control of my life, come in my path and disturb me. So in short, this prayer really is for a good for physical health as well as emotional health. May Ishvara give me fitness of the body as well as the fitness of the mind, focus of the mind. This intellect has to be clear cut, has to be crystal clear about the goal, about the path, and may I muster up the courage from myself, strength from myself to achieve the goal of life. And that is why this prayer. Plus, at the end, Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. 3 times Shantihi is uttered, which means doesn't mean that there are 3 types of Shantis. No. There can be disturbances from 3 different sources. From 3 different sources, obstacles can come. Which are these 3 sources? Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, and Adi Daivika. Adhyatmika from my own self. From my own self. From my body. From my mind. From my limbs. From my prana. Means this body. All this can become a big problem. Suddenly you come to know that you are having this serious ailment, this serious problem. Simple things like you do not command your mood. No, I am not in mood to study. I am not in mood to listen. Things like that. Even when you are sitting in the class also, everybody is not in mood. Everybody may not, and even if you are sitting here but not listening, quite possible. You may remember your home. Anything can come, Papa karmas come in any form. They do not let you take advantage of what is there before you. Suddenly the mood is gone. Somebody will say, you were all fine, but somebody came and said, why did you sit in my place? This simple thing. Simple things such as this can also transport me somewhere else. And all the time I'm saying, who is he to tell me? How can things like simple things also are capable of taking away my mood? So Shanti at that level, at the level of the body, mind, pranas, sense organs, everything has to be perfect for us to be able to do this. So Adhyatmika level. Then Adi Bhautika, which means disturbances can arise from around us, mainly from people and things and elements which are around surroundings. I may have difficulties with my own people, with my spouse, with my partner, with anything. And that also will not allow me to do what I want to do. From outside also, neighbors and government, anything which can come in way. So, Shanti. Let there be peace at that level too. And the third source is Adi Daivika, which means celestial beings. From there also things can happen. Suddenly the weather changes. Suddenly lot of rain. Suddenly earthquake. Suddenly tornado. Suddenly this. And all your plans you have to put aside. You just cannot do. All of a sudden something happens. I remember, that years back, on January 26th in India, we were taking breakfast in ashram, and all of a sudden things started moving. The buildings started toppling. Our own thing, it was just tossed about. What was that? Big earthquake. Very big earthquake. And in no time, people were trapped. Buildings just came down like a pack of cards. We have big, big plans. We have big, big plans. And Ishvara is laughing. Ishvara is laughing. This fellow has this plan, but I know better. I know better. But we also have some strength. What is that strength? Strength of prayer. Prayer is a powerful tool in our hands. Remember this very well. Is a powerful tool which can change everything, because nothing is impossible for Ishvara, provided I am able to reach out to him. I am able to invoke the limitless grace which he possesses. Anukampa, Krupa is there, but it needs to be tapped. I have to tap the grace. And so, in short, these are the causes, sources of disturbances. And that is 3 sources of disturbance, which covers everything, which covers just everything. And so, Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. So, even the teacher, Guru, and the student, both of them together, because teacher also, the speaker also needs grace. Otherwise, ideas will not come, words will not come, and he may be against the student. Why did he not come in time? Why is he not understanding? Because you come to know from the expression, everything. So, things, the teacher also has mood and mind. Anything can happen. That is why the prayer is absolutely necessary. We have done it quickly, and now, from tomorrow, we'll be looking into the topic which we have selected, which forms the basis of Muṇḍaka Upaniṣad. And it's wonderful subject. And there are 2 Vidyas. And we will first see how the Upanishad begins, and how, again, there is also a meaning behind that. And then we'll come to the topic which we have selected. Thank you. Om Purnamataః Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.